Is this part of that investigation? Is that winding down at all yet?
It is indeed, Jeff. Take a live look behind me. This is what's left of the FBI evidence recovery team inside this car. And take a look at this vehicle. We believe this is the owner of the business just returning to take back possession of his business. More on that in a second. But take a look. Another busy day out here on Detroit's east side, just down the road from City Airport. Sources say they have removed several boxes of what is believed to be human remains. Sources say many people. This was a big operation. And get this, inside this business, a saw used to cut up bodies, it is believed. All taken away as evidence to the Wayne County Medical Examiner's Office, where it will be tested. This business is known as International Biological. It advertised as a medical educational service provider. The owner is Art Rathburn. He has a mortician license, has had in Michigan since 1982. But the big question is, did he get human bodies illegally? And was he selling them illegally? Just moments ago, the owner, we believe, showed up. I tried to ask him some questions. Mr. Rathburn, will you talk with us? What do you have to hide, sir? Now, sources tell me the FBI is not out here on a fishing expedition. Mr. Rathburn is not charged with any crime. He is not in custody. They did search his house in Grosse Pointe Park on Wednesday as well. How could he get bodies that are not donated to science? This is shocking to the funeral home industry in Metro Detroit. We're going to have more on that part of this story next hour at 6. Jeff, Carolyn?
Well, Jim, obviously some extensive evidence gathering there. Are we just at the tip of the iceberg on this investigation, you think?
Could very well, and we're not clear on how long it's going to take to do the testing of what is believed human remains. But get this, you had a death in your family, you thought there was a burial or a cremation, and then you find out the body ended up here. Shocking, to say the least.
Certainly so. A lot of questions.
Hey, what's up, you guys? This is WD3, and this is your Hill Report News Break. Well, today, there's so much going on, breaking news. We've been following a story about human remains and human body parts being sold. They even found human remains in a meat supplier for McDonald's, the most popular food chain in the world. Well, hey, we're also going to get into some clips that give you an update on the Diddy story. I know you guys are up to your ears with updates on the Diddy story, but trust me, this is not going away. There's so many more shoes to drop in this case, and you guys need to be up on top of every single thing, because guess what? Our children, ourselves, our family, we all pay attention. We all follow these guys. We're all entertained by these people. We all listen to their messages. And now we get a glimpse of how their lifestyle affects their message. It's not good. But there's so much going on around the world. And definitely I want you guys to find time today on this weekend, on this Sabbath. Find yourself some time to laugh, to think, to meditate, and to pray, because there's so much going on. And keep an eye out for October 1st. That's going to be a big strike. We do not want AI to take jobs away from hardworking folks. The unions, hopefully they have strategies that can stave off this AI invasion of the human workforce. This is not good for the United States of America, especially since there's an influx of 20-30 million new people who need jobs, who need to make a living. We definitely don't want those people to turn to crime in order to live. Everyone's a human being. That's the way I feel. I feel like everyone has a right to life. Everyone has a right to make sure that they can make their lives better, no matter what country that you're in. So I'm not really worried about where you come from. Also, while we pay so much attention to the Venezuelans and things like that that are coming in, what about the Ukrainians? They're getting way more benefits than anybody else. But anyways, I want you guys to enjoy these clips. Let it make you think and investigate for yourself. Don't take my word for it, right? investigate for yourself. We just like to bring food for thought and talk about the things that you're talking about. Well, sit back and enjoy the show. This is WD3, your Here Report News Break. Hey, let's get into some clips.
We've been following all day a huge story here. Human body parts taken by a manager at the Harvard Medical School morgue and then sold to customers online.
The man accused of running the scheme faced a judge late this afternoon. He had nothing to say as he walked out of the court.
But families who donated bodies to the school are left wondering if their loved ones have been impacted.
Investigators say Cedric Lodge ran the multi-state scheme over 4 years while he worked at Harvard Medical School's morgue.
We have team coverage tonight from the suspects to the victims. And we begin with WBZ's Beth Germano. She's live outside a federal court in Concord, New Hampshire, where that morgue manager and his wife just faced the judge. Beth?
Well, federal prosecutors say these were grisly transactions, all done in the name of profit. A nationwide network that extended from Massachusetts to New Hampshire to Pennsylvania and beyond, starting in 2018. These are people who allowed their remains to be used to educate medical professionals. The former head of the morgue, Cedric Lodge, made an initial appearance in federal court here in Concord, New Hampshire this afternoon and left without answering our questions. What do you have to say to the families who made those donations, Mr. Lodge?
Cedric Lodge, the head of the Harvard Medical School morgue, leaving federal court in Concord, New Hampshire without commenting, where he faced charges of stealing dissected human body parts from donated cadavers. His wife, Denise, also allegedly part of the money plot, even accused of bringing the remains to his Goffstown, New Hampshire home and sending some through the U.S. Postal Service.
Why would you do this, and why would you give access to the morgue?
Among the buyers identified in the indictment is Katrina McLean, the owner of Cat's Creepy Creations in Peabody. WBZ-TV had exclusive access to her business back in March when FBI agents also swarmed her Salem home, conducting a number of searches for which she had no comment at the time. Katrina McLean agreed to purchase 2 dissected faces for $600 from Cedric Lodge, and they agreed to meet at the Harvard Medical School morgue to conduct the transaction. She also allegedly shipped skin to Jeremy Pauley of Pennsylvania, a self-described human blood artist, to tan the skin to create leather in exchange for more human skin and ship it back to McLean, allegedly telling him, "Wanted to make sure it got to you, and I don't expect agents at my door." Another Pennsylvania man, Joshua Taylor, made electronic PayPal payments to the lodges, totaling more than $37,000. $1,000 transaction was labeled head number 7. Another $200 transaction labeled brains.
Now, federal prosecutors say Cedric Lodge abused his access to the morgue to potential buyers. He has been ordered to provide a DNA sample and will make another appearance in a Pennsylvania courtroom at a later date to answer to these charges.
Y'all, Cat Williams just dropped an insane bombshell on Diddy, saying Diddy's wild freak-off footage is just the appetizer and Jay-Z might be the main course for the feds. According to Cat, the feds have hours and hours of freak-off footage that are horrifying, to say the least. And get this, he's claiming that Jay-Z is allegedly on the list. Now, Cat's been trying to warn us about Diddy for years, but nobody was listening. Well, guess what? They're listening now. Diddy's in hot water, facing multiple lawsuits, and even got arrested. The accusations? Let's just say they're not pretty. We're talking non-consensual acts, folks. But hold on to your wigs, because this is just the beginning. Cat's hinting that there's way more dirt about to come out, and it's all swirling around Jay-Z. We're talking footage that'll make your jaw drop, because Cat is now claiming that Jay-Z is going down, and he is going down hard. So what's the deal with these so-called freak-off tapes? Cat's saying they're so shocking, they make Cassie's lawsuit look tame. But here's the kicker. It's not just Diddy on those tapes. Word is, there might be footage of Jay-Z that could change everything we thought we knew about hip-hop's power couple. The tea is piping hot, and Cat Williams is serving it up scalding. He's talking about hours and hours of footage that's got the feds working overtime. We're not just talking about your average celebrity scandal here. This is next-level stuff that's got everyone from music execs to A-list celebs sweating bullets. Now, let's break it down. These freak-offs Cat's talking about, they're not your run-of-the-mill wild parties. We're talking about some seriously messed up stuff that's allegedly been going down behind closed doors. And get this, it's not just random people involved. We're talking big names, folks. The kind of names that make headlines just by walking down the street. But here's where it gets real juicy. Cat's dropping hints that Jay-Z might be caught up in all this mess too. Can you believe it? The man who's been at the top of the game for decades might be about to take a serious fall. And if what Kat's saying is true, it's gonna shake the entire industry to its core. Now you might be thinking, hold up, how do we know this isn't just some crazy rumor? Well, here's the thing. The feds have been on Diddy's case since 2008. That's over a decade of surveillance, folks.
She put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way. The bottom line is, Senator Harris, when you were in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not. And worse yet, in the case of those who were on death row, innocent people, you actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that. And the people who suffered under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
Senator Harris.
Kamala Harris was destroyed on the spot by Tulsi Gabbard. This is a fiery scene displayed during the Democratic presidential candidate debate, with several fatal facts leaving Harris feeling ashamed. Harris did not fully answer the accusations against himself regarding this matter, but only made some absurd speeches. However, this is just the tip of Harris's iceberg of corruption.
Damning photos have been unearthed of Diddy eating off of a woman at a debauched party, attended by Will Smith and Owen Wilson. The disgraced hip-hop mogul was spotted amongst a star-studded lineup of guests, including Will Smith, Owen Wilson, Diana Ross, and Bruce Willis, in a new set of incriminating photos from 2004, allegedly taken out of his debauched parties in his Miami mansion. Sean Diddy Combs was arrested last week and is accused of forcing women into elaborate and produced sex performances, described as freak-offs.